Hey, good morning, everyone. Hopefully, you are awake, not sleepy. Get out from your bed and become fresh. Okay, we start today about. I want to revise. We study about arrays. We study numerical arrays, associative arrays, and concatenation. Last time we studied about to concatenate two string together. String length, find string length, string position, PHP function with the argument parameters and with the reference parameter. We, we already had studied this thing. So by default, dynamic function. This was last time class. So now we are shifting to another. Okay. Have you studied before database? Please tell me. Sakhawat Hussain, I'm okay. Good. Thank you so much. Please tell me you had studied MySQL SQL database. Waiting for your reply. Yes. Okay. Hi, Shabli Raza. How are you? Especially good morning. No, in good morning. You have 8 o'clock, yeah? Hmm. Morning. Still alive, sir. Inshallah, you will be alive and we will see face by face. The other students, you remember PHP programming Sakhawat Hussain? Sakhawat Hussain, have you remember PHP? Sorry, SQL. Okay, so Zaidul has. Okay, great. So this will be easy to implement, and we will implement also in our program. Okay. What is SQL? Structure query language, um, which is a computer language for storing, manipulating, retrieving data stored in relational database. SQL is standard language for relational database system. All relational database management system like MySQL, MS Access, Oracle, Sybase, Informex, Postgres, and SQL Server use SQL as a standard database. And there is also some other database we use, but these are the most common, like we use in student for the for our software. We use MySQL, Oracle, also MySQL, MS Access. We also can use in PHP, but the main thing is MS SQL is more easy to manipulate, very easy to, because already Apache server gave us the flavor of plugin of MySQL, so we'll use SQL Server. Some people call SQL, some people call SQL. Also, they are using different dialects, such as MS SQL Server using T-SQL, Oracle using PL/SQL, MS Access version of SQL is called JIT SQL, native format of this one, etc. Why SQL? Why we use SQL? Allows user to access database in a relational database management system, allow user to describe the data, allow user to define the data in database and manipulate that data, allow to embed within other languages using SQL modules, libraries, and pre-compiler, allow user to create and drop database and table. So these actually characteristics make it popular among students, among different people to use SQL. Normally, we use SQL with many software, but there is also databases. If we talk about databases, there's a lot of variety of flavor of databases. Um, like if we talk about data mining, for data mining we use databases, but these databases are retrieved from data warehouses. In data warehouses, different type of server or different type of database are used, because in SQL and MS Access we use relational databases, and the databases in row and column in table format. But if we move to data warehouse, in data warehouse, data are stored in cubic format, like a cube, 4 direction, 5 direction, 6 direction. You move, the data will represent different view, different face. So this is what we called in data warehouse for data mining. For big data, we use different type of data, because in big data we need to retrieve all kind of data, is picture, image, video, text, numerical, string, any type of data we retrieve from online. Maybe it's in the form of document, it's a form of relational database, it's a form of table, whatever. So how to manipulate, how to define language, the defined language, DDL, data defined language, command, create a new table, a view of a table, or other objects in database. We need to create a view of a table. We need to create a table. How to create? You need to use with command create. We need to modify an existing database object such as table. We call alteration. Delete an entire table, a view of a table or other object in the database, we call drop. So new delete, we call drop. Drop a table, drop a row, drop a column. These type of words we use, these keywords we use for data definition. DML, data manipulations language, command, insert, update, delete. To insert data, to update data, to delete data. A record. DQL, data query language. Like to retrieve data, we use select. Select keyword we use to retrieve a single data or multiple rows or multiple records from one or more table in one time. So basic query, how to use? We need to use create database. These first two keywords we use, then database name of the database, whatever you give, but the name of the database must be connected, like there will be no space, is better. You need to say database underscore name, like we create the example is create database Jiangxi. So it will create the database Jiangxi and MySQL. To create table, we say create table, table name. After that, column 1, name of the column, data type. What type of column is, like, for example, ID. ID is integer type. Name are varchar. We call string, but we call varchar. Character type. Column 3, column 4, like different. Checks. What is check? Check is actually null or not null. You know null. Null value. So null value, like, is null or not null. This is called check. Oh, the primary key. Okay, in the relational database, there are key. We call candidate key, primary key, index key, foreign key. What is candidate key? Anybody can tell me? Candidate key. Malala. What is candidate key? Anybody know candidate key? Roy. Okay. Actually, when we select a key to be a primary key, our unique key, our index key, these all are called candidate key. What is mean candidate key? You need to be select. For example, there is ID. ID is a candidate key for it to be primary key or not. We need for primary key, we say it must be unique, it must be not null. Yeah, okay. So there will be multiple ID, multiple column, many columns, a combination of many columns become candidate for primary or for index. So these all are called candidate key. For example, if you have a very big database, if you have a very big table, in this one, so first you need to decide which column can be a primary key. So these all column name you will write. At the end, you will decide which one is the better one for you. So this is called candidate key. These all keys which is selected to be a primary key is called candidate key. After that, index key on which you do indexing. Index key. It will help you in the searching. Um, Another one is primary key. Primary key is the same, like not null, must be unique, no replica. Replica mean copy of the file. In database, we call replica. There will be no replica of the column the data, no copy, no redundancy, and must be unique and must be not null. So this is called primary key. So when you write primary key, one or more column you can select as a primary key. So how to select in practical? You will say create table. Table name is student ID, first column name, integer, not null, name, varchar 255, not null, date of birth, the type is okay, varchar 255, 255 is size, the character. Date of birth, type is date and time, not null. Place of birth, varchar, not null. Call number, sorry, integer. Address, varchar 255, not null. Primary key, student ID. Simple, you write, okay, the primary key must be the same name. There will be no spelling mistake. And also, you need to be careful about this one. So it will create a student table with student ID, name, date of birth, place of birth, and cell number, address. These all attributes will be generate. Okay, so we need to write this type of record in our SQL server. How to write MySQL? Okay, I write in WEM. If you have WEM server, when you open it, in this one there is a direct access to database. Wait, I'm waiting for it to be active because it's green. Okay. In this one, you can write php-myadmin. When you click php-myadmin, it will open your database access. Okay, English. Okay. Here his username is root, password no. Okay, this is how we use for. Okay, now if you want to create database, you need to create new. When you click a new button, hopefully you saw my screen. Yeah, screen is with you. Can you see my screen? Share. Can you see my screen? Share. Okay, thank you. So we need to create new, when you click, okay, database name, for example, I say PHP plus, my database name is PHP plus underscore plus. Okay, this is my database. You need to write type, Latin is okay. We need to create. So database is created. Now we need to write one table. If you click here, create table, for example, students, number of column, we say 4, 5, or 6. For example, the same number, what we had, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6. Can you click create to move it? There's no drag and drop. Okay. No drag and drop in this screen. Why is stuck? Okay. We can hide. So when you click go, this will create 6 column. Now you need to initialize with the name, for example, std underscore id. This is id. What data type? Integer data type. Value length. For example, length is we say 5. For example, default. For example, if someone missed to enter ID, you want to refer as defined or null or current timestamp. These 3 options you add as defined, like if someone forget to enter database, so enter ID. So as defined, what you want to define, it will be inserted by default. Okay, is null, current, we simple say none. Okay, collection, different type of collection. Is a binary. Binary mean, for example, there will be 2 value, but ID have many value, different type of value. Normally we select binary for gender. When you write gender or 6, for example, male, female, 2 value. These type of things we select binary is the characteristic of any attribute. So here, no, null or not null. If you click null, so it mean it will be null or not null is exists, but ID must be not null, so no need to select. Index, for example, is a primary key, unique key, index key, full text, special. So for example, I say it's a primary key for my table. Yes, it's primary key. We need to choose, for example, how much? 5. Okay, go. So it will create primary key with the primary tag here. After that, auto increment AI. Auto increment. For example, if you don't want to enter the value of ID, so it will by default 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This will be auto will increment. But here I say no, we need to enter the ID of a person because we need to give a special ID. For example, comments. For example, for the people, if someone after you, if someone or after some time you want to study your database, if you want to read your database, you want to understand your database, you enter right here comments. This is the ID information of a student. So these are the comments. Okay, comment line, we call hence. This will not be shown in your database, but you need to write for your for your understanding or for other people. Like for example, if you are working in a company, in this company there were many employees work. For example, you write a database, you make a database. After 3 years, after 4 years, your client want to change, your client want to modify the database, if you want to extend the database, maybe in place of you there is someone else. Normally we also, when we write a program, After some time, we forget. When we read our own program, we are confused to understand. So it's, if we have comments, if we have hints, well, so it's make it easy for us to understand why we use function, why we use this type of variable, or why we use here this type of id, or maybe some other useful information you want to relate here in comments. Virtuality, virtual, no, just simple. uh, Move column first after you want to change the position of your column, but we necessarily know is okay, normal for us. Here is name of the student. What type? Varchar. What is the type of length? For example, I say 40 character. Default, no. Attribute, no. Primary, no, because we already generate one primary key. Auto increment, no. Comments, no. No comments, okay. So here is, for example, another, like we have here, date of birth, okay. DOB, for example, I just write with DOB. What type of this one we need to write date and time? There's a different. There's different, but here we call with date. Okay, with date comments. Length, medium. No, length is actually by default. Normally we say what type of what format of date you want to insert. There are different fonts. For example, today is 30th, so we say 30th March 2020. Some people say 3803 2020, 38/03. So this type, you need to enter the length of the time. For example, 38/30 2020, this total is 8, 2 slash is called 10. So we got 10 size. Default, no. There is another increment, for example, place of birth. So in this one, you enter right place, varchar. Text, you can also say, for example, place name must be 25. No. Place of birth also, you need to write, for example, cell number, underscore, cell number. You need to write in integer format. If you want to write in text format also, you can write integer format. For example, what's the maximum is, for example, 14 digit. Or we can say text format. We can also, some people call with the cell number with country name. So like CH China, we need to write like this. Okay, we need to say, okay, you need to write with country name or with country code or identity ID. So we say, for example, 16. After that, another one is address. We need to write address for the user, for the person. So an address, we need to write in varchar type. An address may be 50 character or 100 character, is depend. So here just I define for time. So you want to write about table comments. You can also write table comments about table information. You want to write partitioning also, because we are not studying now distributed database, so that's why just I'm not going in advance. This is the basic things we need to learn. If I want to say save, okay, incorrect prefix key, the used to key part is not string. This use it length is longer than the key part. Okay, what's the problem here is actually, for example, I define here key, I define here, for example, 3-digit primary key. For example, size of the key. For example, I say without size. In my define without size, we need to check. So it's without size, it's exactly. So student ID, name, date of birth, place of birth, cell number, address. These all are here. Okay. These all data are here. Data attributes are here. You can create. You can see there is a student table created. So you can also use with SQL. Here you can see select static from student where 1. You can also use a query here, a different query. You can create select query, select insert, update, delete, what type of query you want. For example, delete, update. You can see here, all the update queries are here. There is a simulate query. You want to simulation. For example, if I go to browser, in browser, it will select static from students. You want to write name, but here we don't have information. It will show you here all the information. This is how we need to create a table. So please, everyone, now open your MySQL. You need to create a table. Response me. You need to create a table. Okay. Open your MySQL, create a table, and send me the picture of your table. I'm waiting for, please. Roy, Reza, Amirul Munshi, you listen to me. Okay, move forward. So here, if you want to change in a table, there is a change button you need to click. What you want to change, you need to select a column, for example, date of birth. You want to change, you click DOB, you need to click change. So what you want to change, name of the variable, any attribute, any value you want to change for the table. So you can select and change it. After all, if, for example, if I don't want to change, I want to go previous. Okay. Now, if I want to go to the structure again, there is also drop the table, primary key, unique key, index key. Everything you want to change, you can do here. This is actually a dashboard for you where you want to use any option. So this how, if you want to add any column where after student ID, after name, after DOB, how many column you want to select, you click go and you can add any column here as well. Yeah, if your database, for example, if you make a database, if there's a lot of value you insert it, record everything, so you need to export this database. You need to click export. When you click export, what type of export you want, what type? For example, CSV file, CSV or MS Excel file, JSON file, LaTeX file, MediaWiki, what type of SQL file, PHP array? You click go. Where you want to save, you can see here, SQL is student, SQL is here. Okay, so when you open this one in your folder, you can find the SQL file. This file, if you want to import, click import. Where you want to import, choose a file. For example, in download, for example, I have, you can see student SQL. I click open, and I can import the file as well. This is how you need to export your database from one place to another. You want to import to enter the database. For example, now we move shifted to our teaching. Now this was about student. There is another subject, the same things we need to follow. at the end, you can see how to add a foreign key. Student's ID was a primary key for a student table. We will write student ID. This is a new name you want to give by yourself. It's customized name. What type I thought it was? Integer type. Reference student table. In the student table, what was the name of the attribute? It was student std underscore id. So this name in the student table name id must be same. For example, in student table, you can see std id was our primary key. So this student's std id must be same with the column name. And after all, if you want to make it is in a foreign key, for foreign key, you need to create your name, customized name, integer, reference, student, from where you want to import, from where you want to create as a foreign key, student table, and which ID? Student ID. In this name must be identified as a primary key in your student table. If you didn't identify in primary key in a student table, so it will create problem. So there will be error. So this must, you need to create primary key here with the same ID you need to import here. And primary key for this table is also there itself, if because maybe this primary key goes to another table, is a foreign key. This is how we can create. This is how we create a relational database. Subject and students. Student ID come here is a student ID. Student ID. So how to use select steric? Select keyword. Select keyword is used for retrieve the data from your table, from your current database. So if you want to retrieve the data, you want to show the data, if you want to manipulate the data, for this thing you need to create select asterisk from, where you need to write select asterisk from, where student. We want to select asterisk from student, student ID, name, date of birth, place of birth. If you write asterisk, for example, if you write asterisk, it means it will create all. For example, if I say student, select asterisk from student, so it means all the column. This one identify column, all the attribute record you need to select from student table. This is simple select query where you select all the attribute, all the value from the table. It will retrieve all the database. If you want to select selective, for example, select name, date of birth from students. So it will retrieve these two column data. Okay, this is how we select only two column data, not all table. Select asterisk from students where student ID equal to 184. Where clause, we need to use where clause. So where is actually, we need to specify a data. Select asterisk mean all the table, all the attribute in the table, all the attribute from the students where std underscore id, this column is equal to 184. So we need to use where clause. This is where clause. So it will select only the data which is 184 and select asterisk. This means all the attribute data against this value. Insert query. How to insert the data? Insert into table name. Okay. Insert into table name. Column 1, column 2, column 3. You need to write first all the column name value. Now you need to write the value. For example, here, insert into student, student ID, name, date of birth, place of birth, cell number, address. Now value 177 is the ID, Mike is the name, date of birth is like that, UK, cell number is like that, and address is like that. So it will go to the relative attribute. You want to select is a limitation. For example, you say select delete. Okay, delete from student where std underscore id is less than 184. You need to delete the value, which is, or you can also select also, but delete value from students where std_id is less than 184. So it will delete the values in the table which is less than 184. For example, if I use in this one, there is a different query. This is my student ID, so I go to SQL query. In SQL query, you can say select. Okay, select insert. For example, if I insert, you can see here, maybe it's you need to write student ID, name, day of due birth, place of birth, cell number, address. For example, you need to write the value. You need to write the value here. And also you can also write insert value by like this. For example, value is, for example, value, for example, 222. Name is, for example, Asim. Date of birth, 23rd. You can also select from here as well, 23rd. You need to select your year. You need to select from year from here. It's not a distribution. For example, 1986 or 87, 03. Place of birth, Pakistan. Cell number, for example, 15579778135. Address, you need to write address. House number, 502. Street number, 03. You need to select go. You need to insert the data. So data are inserted. If you want to check your data, you can go there. You can see the record is here. You can also record here. Okay, this is just we need to use with play with our data. For example, I want to say search. What do you want to search? Or you want to use SQL query? You want to say select student ID, name, everything from student ID. Okay, so it will show the record here. What I enter. There are different query you want to search. For example, update. You can insert update value you want to change. Here you just give. So it will give you. Because we didn't give any value, so that's why it's not. We can give value, name must be like this, value must be their birth like this, place of birth will be like that. This is how we use value. If you want to delete record, so simple, you can also select here. If you want to change, you can change here, copy, delete, edit. If you want to say delete, so record will be deleted. So no record is here. So please, for 5 minutes, you need to play with this software. You need to perform all the function, all the value. For example, structure, you need to open the structure of program. You need to change the value. And then please tell me, I'm waiting for you. Please play with this software and then tell me. Then I will go further. You understand? Please insert some record and delete, update by yourself now. Did practice? And I'm waiting for. And then tell me, please, honestly. If you have, that's why I give you, because if you have any problem, then you can tell me now, I will repeat. You click with different value. Okay, it's enough time to manipulate with this software. After that, we are going to study about US forms, because we will connect our database with US form, with the PHP using form. Um, Processing form, we know that in HTML, when we create a form, like when we insert our name, ID, this is a complete form of your HTML actually property. So how to connect to this form with our PHP? So we need to study. It is easy to process form when PHP is a form parameters are available. In this one, get function and post function, we need to use get and post array. There are many tricks and techniques for working with form, so which are described in this section. For example, method. There are different methods. Get and post method we use. In theory, methods are case insensitive in the HTML, but in practice, some broken browser require the method name to be in all uppercase. So normally, if you write get in uppercase, the small case, then it's okay, no problem. But normally, some browser need to get in the uppercase. You need to write, it will be better to write in uppercase. A get request encode the form parameter in the URL in what is called query string, the text that falls in the query string. For example, path to chunkified.php WordPress specifiable in length equal to 3. A post request passes the form parameters in the body of the HTTP request, leaving the URL untouched. How we can see, like now, the most visible difference between get and post in the URL line, because all of a form parameters are encoded in the URL. With a get request, user can bookmark get queries. They cannot do with this with post request. However, get request and post, we have some different characteristic. We will see in practice. The biggest difference between get and post request, however, is far similar. So the HTTP specification says that GET requests are idempotent. Okay, that is one GET request for a particular URL include form parameter. Okay, how to use this? We need to come to the practice point. If server request underscore method is equal to get handle a get request, it means we need to get all the values will be arrived, all will we need to get from there. So else do you may only get this page. So parameter, there's get post and file we need to upload, use post when we need to get the value from the form and post into the php. So this is what is a form. There's a form: HTML head, title, head body, form, action, chunkified.php. Okay, what is mean action? When you want to redirect your HTML form to any other PHP file, we need to write the name of complete path of this PHP file. For example, here is in the same folder, so we write chunkified.php method post. Enter a word. Enter type text name. How long should we take chunkify? So this is just form. Okay, this one is HTML form. Now PHP, the name is chunkified.php. You need to write this code in PHP to receive this one. Okay, how it's working, we need to practice here. So here, for example, we need to create one a new file. For example, chunks HTML. Yes, and we need to write the program. For example, When you click on chunks, you need to change the name. Email. Okay. Localhost. Chunks.html. You see here, you enter how long you should be chunks. For example, I enter 23. But here's one thing is missing. We need to check why. Form action chunkify. Method post input type is equal to tag. Name what? How long should be? You need to enter the number. Okay, this text is, this one is missing. Anybody can tell me what's the problem with this ID? Remember your HTML subject. Tell me here, what problem with this input? You write what is the problem with this input type? Just give me 1 minute, please. Hello, are you there? You are sleepy? You're listening me? What's the problem with this text box? Anybody can tell me? Hello, are you there? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, tell me what's the problem with this form? Anybody can tell me? There is no error in this form. Actually, my browser is having some problem. Okay, I want to show you in PPT. This form will print this. This is the form. Okay, enter a word. How long it should be chunks. When you click chunkify, actually it will call this function PHP file. This PHP file must be in another file when you write. Okay, how to get? You can see here post method equal to post. So you will get the value with the name of this input type. You can see here word. This is a variable, PHP variable, $_post word. So it will get the value from this word. Okay, what the value you enter? Number, sorry, number, another variable, post number, chunks. It will calculate. Okay, and also print the number, and also print all the same for loop, while loop. So chunks, what is mean chunkify? If you want to enter the complete string, when you divide, when you want to find the chunks is mean small part of your string, small part of anything we call chunk. A program, a small part we call chunk of program. So these all chunks you need to create. Okay, first you need to create now this form. Please everyone create this form. Understand? When you create, just tell me. Write a program for this form. The file name must be like chunks.html. This is with HTML file. Everyone write. Please reply me. I will give you marks because I want to submit marks, compile marks. Make a form. You need to run this program. Okay, this was about today class.
Sir.
Yes.
I just sent you that this one, but why this?
Oh,
Like
there is problem. There is problem. Okay, there's one problem. Okay, I want to open again another one. You can see here the first program when you write with here you write word number. Okay,
number.
Chunkyfy.php. Yes. After that, if we talk about your PHP program, word post word number. Okay, equals this one, and the file name is chunkyfy. Okay, you can see here. Here you give chunkyfy.php. Okay, chunkyfy.php, but your file name is chunkyfy1.php.
Yeah, cause there was two programs, so that's why first one I just gave in chunkyfy.php, and that one I gave just okay. I just said something one.
No, Faisal, this one, the first one is actually HTML. Okay, chunkyfy.html is not PHP. Is HTML file.
Yeah, I know, sir. It's HTML program, but I was just
okay. No problem.
I saved it like this.
When you write any PHP in any file, you will use PHP. Otherwise, no HTML.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So which file I have to? Yeah, which one? That this program or the other program I have to run?
Actually, where you write form, okay? The form is HTML. Here, where you write in HTML.
Yes, sir. This one is HTML. Yes.
Yeah,
sir.
the other one is PHP. Okay.
Okay, so I have to run that PHP, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir.
This one is HTML. The other one is PHP.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Done.
Working?
Yeah, I send you a screenshot, right?
Okay.
This one, sir. You can check now.
Okay. Let's check it. This is working. You enter any like sentence, enter a word, any sentence you write. Like enter word, you write any sentence. For example, this is my first PHP program.
Okay. Enter word in that one, right?
Yeah, in this one, yeah. You write this is my first PHP.
Okay.
In the second one, you write how long should be chunks, the chunks be. For example, chunks, number of parts. You write, for example, you want to divide by 3. You write 3.
Okay, 3.
You run
then
click
I have to click
Chunkify.
Okay.
It shows some result and error.
It shows nothing. It shows nothing. Okay, I can check.
No, there is one problem. Here you show enter a word. Okay, this file Chunkify, this one, the form one is HTML form. Okay, the other one is PHP.
Yes.
The form is HTML. You actually give PHP. This is not PHP. You saw my screen? You saw my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this one where you write HTML form, this one is HTML, okay? The other one,
Yes, sir.
this one is PHP.
PHP. Yes, sir.
Yes. The first one is HTML. Please change it because you
Okay,
still
so
use PHP.
okay, sir. Okay. Right. Thank you.